another video. So today we are going to talk about PR boxes. When to send them, how to stand out, and how to do it on a budget. So PR boxes, if you don't know, are pretty much packages that you send to influencers or, famous people showcasing a specific item or a certain collection that you want to send out. And it's a great way to get your product out there to people who may have not seen it before, just to get you more traffic to your store and a possible show on one of their social media platforms. So I'm going to talk about first how to do it on a budget. So first I want to talk about the budgeting part and how to do it so that you're not spending a ton of money on special boxes and special vendors to do it for you, especially if you're a new company, a new brand, and want to start sending out to people to get your brand out there to people who may have not seen it before. So one of the things that I did was buy my boxes online on Amazon. They have tons of different box options for cheap. They can send you, $50 to $100 for like $20-$30. And I bought foam inserts from Walmart, and they're the chair cushion inserts. I got about, a 3-4 pack for about $6 or $7. And I only had to use one of them for 3 PR boxes I just sent out last week. So that's a very cheap option, especially if you're gonna send out a lot of PR boxes. So keep that in mind, and then I'll insert a video on how I measured everything out, created the inserts, and put a glossy paper over top of the insert so that it looks nice and professional. And you also want to include in the PR box something that shows a description about what your product is, how to use it, just so that they can have a little bit of knowledge about your brand. And especially if they decide to showcase on social media, that they have something to say about the brand. So you need to include that as well, and a thank you card and something that'll add a little bit more to catch their eye. Right now, since it's winter time, I chose to put in my snowflake confetti in there as well as a little pop of, wow factor. But you can pretty much do anything. You can send them stickers as well in there that kind of go with your theme, or anything that you can think of that is a cheaper option, but it'll still look good and wow them. So another main component to PR boxes is who you're gonna send them to. You don't want to send your clothing line to someone who's more focused on a beauty brand. So if you see someone who's an influencer who's always doing skincare routines and skincare tips, then if you're a skincare line or a beauty brand line, then you need to showcase to those people. So if you see someone who's showcasing clothes on Instagram all the time, then that may be your person to go to if you have a clothing brand. And I think that's one thing that people overlook, because they see an influencer who has a lot of followers and just wants to send them whatever. But you really need to focus on what they're already showcasing and what their own brand already is, so then you'll have a higher chance of them showcasing your brand when you send it to them. So that's one thing I think is a main key as well that people tend to overlook when they're doing their PR boxes. So when to send out PR boxes, I think that you can send them out pretty much any time of the year, but I feel like holidays are one of the best times. Christmas time is a really good time to send out PR boxes. If you have themed collections or a themed brand, if you have something focusing on like African American history or culture, I think that, Black History Month would be a great time to send that out. It'll gain more traffic and it'll catch their eye a little bit better. You can do themes around that, around the history. You could even send out like little history fact cards along with whatever brand that you're doing, whether it's, you know, skincare or a clothing brand, whatever, you have it. But you really need to think about what your brand is and what it represents and when to send out. I think that holidays for any brand is a great time to send out PR boxes. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Anytime, but just really focus on what your intentions are with what you're sending out. Is it a new collection? Is it your spring collection? Obviously send that out in the springtime. Are you just trying to showcase one of your bestseller products and get that out to more people? Then, you know, showcase that. You can do that pretty much anytime. Maybe Christmas time would be a great time to do that. Fall collection, same thing. Send it out, you know, like the first day of fall, whatever. Okay, that is it. Those are all the tips that I have for you today. So I hope all of my startup babes out there are taking this information and utilizing it to the best of their abilities. So, you know, my page is mainly for people who are in the very, very beginning stages of starting their brand. So these are tips to help with people who may not have the money to do certain things right now, or to pay, you know, a bunch of money for fancy items and packages. So these are tips that I hope that you can take and utilize to better, you know, further your career and your brand and your company. So thanks, and I will be with you guys again next week.